Hello, David Clarke here from DVC Training. Just a quickie today. I was asked by somebody, how do you play a Blu-ray with VLC? I used to supply PowerDVD on all the systems, but it's quite expensive and I find I can play most things in other programs, and I use VLC a lot, which is free. VLC can play Blu-ray discs. It's just not immediately obvious how you do so. Here I have a Blu-ray that I've made up inside of Edius. Now this disc was made with Edius 11, but it's pretty much the same with all previous versions of Edius. And instead of writing to a disc, because I don't actually have a Blu-ray writer in this system, I just made it up as a folder. So I enabled detail settings, said make it up in a folder, and said compile disk image to folder, and it made up this folder. And here you can see you've got two folders, a temporary one and the BDMV, which is the thing that actually gets written to a Blu-ray disc. You can take that and write it to a disc with any program you feel like, but I want to play that before I actually make the disc. So I'm going to open up VLC, go to media and choose this thing, open disc. And then from here you get something which obviously lets you open up discs. I'm going to go to Blu-ray, browse, go to my test folder where I save that temporary stuff and go into the BDMV one. Select the folder, play. And here you can see it now comes up and plays like a Blu-ray disc with menus. I'm going to click on this, it goes to the chapter menu. Didn't do anything fancy, this is just one of Edius's default menus. Click on that, starts playing the clips. Click on that, I'll go to chapter 2. Down here I can go back to the home menu by clicking on this button. So this button will take you to the menu, these ones will help you skip through the chapters. But apart from that, it doesn't give you a thing that looks like a Blu-ray remote, but it's enough to check it. It's enough to check the sounds there, that all the clips are there, that the menus vaguely work. And that's how I would actually play back something using VLC. So it's basically go to media, open disc, choose Blu-ray, choose the BDMV folder of wherever that temporary stuff you made was stored. Now I haven't really played too many commercial discs on here, only ones that I've made myself. Of course commercial discs will have copy protection and I don't know how it will get on with that. And also they can have fancier menus using Java. And I've tried one or two simple ones and they have worked, but I haven't tried a lot, so I can't guarantee this is going to work for proper commercial Blu-ray discs. But I'm really using it just to try and test out my own discs. So I've got a good way of trying out what I've made before I commit to actually burning a blank disc. Probably works with Encore ones. Have to admit I haven't tried it because I haven't used Encore for a few years since it was killed by Adobe many years ago. And obviously if you don't know how to get to VLC, it's simply click on the Windows button and type in VLC and it'll find it on your computer. And obviously if you haven't got VLC installed, then just go onto Google, find it and download it. But I find that's fine for testing out my own disc. When you go into these particular folders, obviously this is the standard layout for a Blu-ray disc and you've got all this gubbins here, which you don't really need to know what they are. The stream folder actually has the video clips. So you go into that and you can see here that you've got these MTS files, which are the video clips. And I mean, I only did a very, very short disc for this test. The big one there, that's obviously the video clip. And these ones here are the menus. So you can double click on them. As a default, they'll open up in whatever your computer thinks it wants to open up M2TS files. I have changed it to VLC, so if you want to do that yourself, simply right click on one of these, say open with, choose another app, and then you can choose whatever app you prefer down here. And I've normally select VLC and say always. On Windows 11 it says there always, Windows 10 is something slightly different, but it's effectively the same thing. And now after that every M2TS file will open up with VLC and it'll have a little cone on it afterwards to tell you. But you can look at the individual files that way, but you can't look at the actual menu that way. So it's best to use that open disk thing. And I haven't found a way of making it just that you can go here and click on something and play it. I actually have to do the open disc thing. But that works for me, and that's good enough to check out my Blu-ray discs that I've made up temporarily. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and visit www.dvctraining.co.uk for more information about video and stuff. And I'll see you next time.